All right, everybody. Welcome on into this live stream. Right now, we're talking on this topic of valuing intuitive awareness, deciphering the retrogrades. And if we haven't met before, I'm Gio Pensino here with the Wellpreneur community. And I am so excited about this topic today because I developed a new awareness myself from a recent training I took, a class that I took here in Laguna Beach with my new friend Juliana, who's an astrologer. She's from Italy, and she just kind of helped me develop a new understanding of what the retrogrades are all about and how to apply them as a intuitive tool within our lives. And so I'm going to try to feed two birds with one handful of information here. And it is quite possible that I could totally crash and burn. And so one of the things that I noticed here in Laguna Beach is that sometimes we have we've got these wonderful skimboarding competitions that happen. And it's kind of cool to see the folks that do amazing tricks and everything. But you know what is also super fun is to watch the ones when they try to do something that they've never done before, and they have a spectacular fail. And so if I fail here, apologies beforehand, but let's raise and praise my willingness to teach a new thing that I've learned. And in that process, I want to give you also the encouragement to step on into teaching new things, maybe that you're not sure that you fully know. And the reason why I say that is because when you're stepping into the world of, let's say, being a coach or a consultant or a mentor to somebody, particularly if you're doing it online like I'm doing right now, there's a lot of little places where, you could fail. And it is pretty inevitable that when we start something new, we kind of feel like we don't know what we're doing. Well, let's see if I do know what I'm doing or if I have a spectacular fail. And if you're hearing me right now, if you could drop on into the comments that you can hear me good and let me know where you're dialed in from. And whether you're listening to me live right now or you're listening to the recording, I want to ask you to engage with the conversation. So drop on into the comments right now where you're dialed in from. As we jump on in to this topic of the retrogrades and how to really value intuitive awareness. And I really learned a whole new level of understanding about the retrogrades because, like a lot of people, I kind of always had the thought that the retrograde was somehow something negative. And it is a funny thing because I think a lot of people believe that. And if you have that thought yourself, leave me that comment as well. Do you have the thought that the retrograde is somehow a negative thing in some stance? I want to do a little poll here and find out if my thinking was about the same as is common. Because the retrogrades have gotten a terrible reputation. And I don't know where this got started, but it is a complete misconception and misunderstanding about what the retrogrades are and how valuable they are to us because they do come at a particular time. And right now, if I got my countings right, we got quite a number of planets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planets in retrograde right now. And what does retrograde even mean? Well, we kind of know that retro means it describes something backwards. Retro, back. And science is, pretty well figured out that the planets don't go backwards. They always go in a certain motion. But, those astronomers probably in the early days, in those back days, those retro days, when astronomy was being developed, it's thousands of years old. This tool has been used for decision making. But when they were first figuring it all out, looking at the stars, and even today, if you look at the planets, they appear that they're moving backwards. And maybe that was a scary thing. And maybe that's why, there's been this fear about what a retrograde is, because the planets, they appear to be moving backwards. And I could see how that could be scary to some people, particularly if they don't really know what it is that's going on. But the other interesting thing about life and astrology is, we kind of think in our minds, like the way I think we have things in our minds in terms of how we make a meaning of what it is that we're doing and what we're up to and what we should be doing, is I think that we generally think that we're moving forward. And that forward motion and a forward progress is what it's all about. And so when the planets are moving backwards, again, you might get the understanding why people get kind of freaked out about that, because it is probably a little bit more than just perception, because the planetary fields, they do have some kind of an effect upon our planet. We know that the moon pulls the tides out, and we know that it affects people's and their own personal cycles. We feel the moon pretty strongly. Other planets maybe a little bit less so, and that's where the intuitive piece comes in, because intuitive awareness comes from a very sensitive place within ourselves. And it is the place where some of the most valuable information for making choices and living our lives comes from. It comes from this very sensitive, intuitive instrument that we all have within ourselves. Now, intuitives and astrologers and tarot readers, when they're really good at what they do and they're real authentic at what they do, like my friend Julia, she has an intuitive awareness, and she's reading the charts, but she feels things inside, and she knows, I believe, that when she says things, that when she says something to somebody else about what's up, she probably watches and looks and sees to see if there's kind of a reaction, because again, we all have this intuitive instrument within ourselves. So when it comes to the retrogrades, the planets appear to be moving backwards, and the reason why this time is so valuable and so positive is because we are called to ourselves look backwards. And again, we're kind of orientated in our thinking to always be looking forward. What's coming up? What do I got to do? What do I got to do today? What do I got to do? Who do I got to talk to? But in times of retrograde, again, we are called to look backwards. And it is also kind of how the energy is moving. So retrogrades spin the energy inward. And instead of being outward in our communication, particularly with Mercury, people talk about this so much that, Mercury's in retrograde and all this, and things aren't going to work out right and such. But the truth is, I believe, okay, and let me know if you agree with this or not, is that we're being called to flow our communication inward, to spend time journaling, pulling cards, and exploring the inner workings of our mind. And this is where intuitive guidance, these intuitives, astrologers, tarot readers, energy workers, and other folks that have fine-tuned their instrument to become aware of these energies, they could help you. And I do believe the second bird that I wanted to feed in this conversation today is about the value of intuitive awareness. Because I do believe that many of my friends in this field, they kind of struggle a little bit sometimes, like finding their way of being rewarded for what they do. And I think it is a little bit to do with how it's framed. And so this is the second bird that I want to feed here today, is the value of intuitive awareness is in its ability to help people make decisions. And so again, we're in a retrograde right now. So Mercury, as I'm looking on my notes here, Mercury is retrograde in Virgo right now until September 15th, so it's coming up pretty soon. You got this little window of opportunity to look inward. And this is according to Julia in her writings and her teachings. So I'm sharing this with you, that this particular influence, that the Mercury is communication, of course, and Virgo is the organizer, the master organizer. So our communication is going in reverse with an organizational kind of influence. And so what Julia says is that we call it to clean up the superfluous and communicating directly what's needed to carry out our personal projects, our self-care, our healthy habits, and constructive learning. And so the question is, what do you need in these areas? Well, the other piece that Julia brought to my attention was that it has everything to do with the house that it's in. So Mercury is in Virgo, retrograde in Virgo, communication, organization, and for me personally, it is in my fifth house, which is the house of passion, play, pleasure, and creativity. So I put those things together and I use my own intuitive, non-logical way of kind of feeling on into it. And when you work with an intuitive and when you work with an astrologer and they're good at what they do, they've got kind of creative ways to help you kind of feel your way into it. And so I felt my way into it. And what I found out in my fifth house, that passion, play, pleasure, creativity, well, I just came up with the notion, the awareness, because I felt it inside of myself, that I need and want to have. When I look backwards at what I've been doing in the last period of time, some things have worked real well, some things need a little adjustment. And what needs adjustment in my fifth house is more fun. I need more fun. I've been working like crazy. I've been moving forward, working like crazy. All the focus on working, not enough fun. So I am about to go down to Playa del Carmen for a little bit of time to go see the dentist. And I just wrote down that I want to have more fun in groups of people. And I want to do it in a way that is just fun and easy. And so I'm communicating it. I'm communicating it to myself. I'm sharing it with you, but I'm communicating it with myself because there is an active aspect of this, which is maybe right now we're looking backwards. We're doing some assessment on what we need in this area of Mercury and Virgo, and communicating what it is that we need to carry out our projects and our self-care and our healthy habits. So we're still self-assessing, and I'm going to continue to do that. It says up until the 15th of September, so pretty soon. But I'm making some notes and some journaling, and kind of doing a little bit of like, I think I want to do some more fun things. And I'm kind of looking at what those things are and kind of doing a little planning and, figuring that out by, again, looking backwards. I did some good things this summer here in Laguna, had some more fun. But again, looking backwards, I'm like, I need to have some more fun. And that's in my fifth house, my passion, play, pleasure, creativity. So that is my perspective to share with you on the way of looking at retrogrades in a different light. Because, again, we are meaning-making creatures. And whatever it is that we believe in our minds, for better or worse, and sometimes we've got things that are kind of a little messed up there in terms of like believe in things that are really not that helpful. And truth be told, I've always been a little, kind of stayed a little away from astrology because it's a meaning-making machine. It's a meaning-making tool. And I have more relied on logical meaning making tools and self assessment and strengths finders and the disc thing to understand what the natural gifts are and everything. But non logical astrology and intuitive folks who do this for a living, man, they could help you so much. And you got to choose carefully, and you got to question also about what you believe. And so I did that. I questioned, like, what do I believe about the retrogrades? I don't really think that they're a negative thing. That just seems silly. But I do think that they could be creating some conflict for people who are trying to push forward, and not taking this special time to look backwards. And that is just a thing of life in general. We always generally think that go forward, planning forward, progress. But at least 50% of the wisdom and the things that serve us come from looking backwards. What did I do that worked? What did I do that didn't work so well that I want to adjust a little bit? And that's what the retrogrades are all about. So you, my friend, if you are in these fields of intuitive awareness, things that have to do with the meaning making and helping people to make decisions, a couple of thoughts I want to leave you with in terms of how you can be more successful in this area. Because again, it's a little bit like the retrograde and the misunderstandings that are so common. Well, I believe that the misunderstanding about intuitive skills are that they're kind of woo-woo, and they're not really that valuable, and we don't really know what to use them for. What I have already been starting to talk about a little bit is that they're super valuable for making decisions. They're super valuable for tuning your navigational course. And where they become very monetarily valuable are with people who are up to big things, and people who are in leadership who have very important decisions to make. Now, you may think to yourself, again, could be a misunderstanding, but let's take people in the military. Let's take generals who are making decisions about where all our money is being spent on these military objectives, which are important to keep us safe for certain. And they have decisions to make every day. Let's take, for instance, the leaders who are leading the Google different companies who are developing the AI. Those folks are making decisions every day. And the problem that we're coming to a transformative space around is that we've been using all this forward thinking and logic and finding out how we could be more efficient at things. And that has served us tremendously. That's what's allowed me to be speaking to you today on the internet, because somebody decided that was a good thing to do. But what we need now is to bring back a more non-logical, earth-based wisdom. And that wisdom comes from inside of us. It comes from the earth itself. And people who are skilled in these areas, your skills are really needed right now. And I want to be a voice for not playing small in this area, and making the effort to really create clear communication about the value of what you do, and learning how to sell your services to people who really need it. And if that freaks you out to hear that, come talk to me, because people need what you have. And if you're feeling a little shrinking back around selling your services and talking to people and connecting to highly influential people who need what you have, well, that's kind of what I help people with. And I have a new pilot program right now to help kind of in this area. We just launched it a little bit ago. It's called the Incubator Circle, and we are looking for about 10 more people right now to add into this pilot program. And you could join this program and get all the types of support that you need to turn what it is that you do into a message, into a way of communicating the value of it, so that you become able to not only have a big impact in the world and to really connect to people who are up to big things, who need your service and who have the ability to pay you for it, but to do it in a fun way. And the Incubators Circle Pilot Program, you could jump on into this right now. I'm looking for about 10 more people. And the starting price on it, if you're going to be wondering what that is right away, like, what's that going to cost? And so I've got some programs that are $15,000. This program here starts at $99. And if you are just starting out or you're growing your business and you don't have a lot of resources, this is for you. And just leave a little note in the comment before, say, pilot program, and I'll reach out to you. Because like I said, my whole reason for talking about this today was to really raise and praise the value of intuitive skills, and particularly in these kind of areas that people don't understand real well, but they're making a resurgence. And there's a lot of interest in astrology, intuitive skills, energy healing, but again, you can't play small. You got to really develop your messaging, develop the tools for attracting the right kind of people, the people who really need what you have. And like I said, you could blow your mind to find out who would be open in places that you never even imagined to working with you. And we really need that right now. I'll tell you what. We're in a crazy time right now, and I'll just end with the last little retrograde here. Like I said, there's 7 of them all together until, I think this is, Julia said, until 2026, Uranus in Taurus, shaking the roots and grounding tools to find different ways to feel safe, to create new roots, and to build your grounding. What you thought was safe, well, it ain't safe no more, and that's a good thing. It is a little bit like the retrograde. It could seem a little scary, but we're being called to go inside and find out the things that are really important to us, and to build new ways of doing things. And it looks like we're going to be in that energy for a little period of time now, so it could be shaking things up. But I say, bring it on, step forward. And I hope you found this conversation today to be helpful. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you found to be most helpful in this kind of reframing of the retrogrades, and also the value of intuitive services and skills. It is so important, and you are needed right now. So leave me a comment, let me know. And if you want to find out about the Incubator Circle Pilot Program, just leave a comment, pilot program, and I'll reach on out to you, and we'll have a little chat about it. All right, we'll talk to you soon.